I was married on a quiet winter evening when the sky was soft and gray, and my heart was full of mixed feelings. I was nervous, shy, and hopeful at the same time. Like many girls, I had dreams about marriage, not big dreams, but small ones like kindness, respect, and a peaceful life. My parents held my hands tightly that day, and my mother's eyes were full of tears and prayers. I believed that even if love did not come fast, understanding would come with time. My husband's name was Ayan. He was calm, polite, and spoke very little. When our families met, he always showed respect. I thought his silence meant depth, and his serious face meant responsibility. We did not talk much before marriage, only a few careful words in front of elders. Still, I trusted fate because I believed that good intentions can grow into love. The wedding passed like a dream I could not fully remember. There were lights, smiles, and many people, but inside me there was only one feeling: the fear of the unknown. When night came and everyone left us alone, the room felt too big and too quiet. We sat on opposite sides, both silent. I tried to smile, but my smile felt weak. I waited for words, for reassurance, for anything that would tell me I was safe. Ayan finally spoke, but his words were not what I expected. His voice was low and shaking. He said he needed time and that he was confused. I listened without speaking, my heart beating fast. He did not touch me or speak harshly. He only looked tired, like someone carrying a heavy secret. That night passed without comfort or warmth, only silence and distance. In the early morning, before the sun was fully up, Ayan packed a small bag. I watched him with fear in my eyes and questions on my lips. He told me he had to leave for some time and asked me to stay patient. I wanted to ask why. I wanted to stop him, but my voice did not come out. When the door closed behind him, my life felt empty in a way I had never known before. That day, I sat alone in a new house that did not feel like home. The walls felt cold, and every sound made me feel scared. My in-laws were kind but confused. They did not have answers for me, and I did not have answers for them. People started to talk, as people always do. Some blamed me, some blamed fate, and some stayed silent. I felt shame even though I had done nothing wrong. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Ayan did not come back, and his calls were rare and short. He always said the same thing, that he needed time. I cried many nights, hiding my tears in my pillow. I asked myself many times if I was not good enough, if I had failed on the very first day of my marriage. My parents asked me to come back home, but something inside me told me to stay. I believed that running away would not heal anything. I wanted to understand, not escape. I decided to be patient, even when patience felt painful. I started to help more at home, to keep my mind busy. I read books, prayed, and tried to stay strong. One evening, a letter arrived from Ayan. It was the first long message he had sent. In that letter, he shared his truth. He wrote that he had been forced into marriage because of family pressure. He wrote that his heart was full of fear, not because of me, but because of his past. He had seen his parents suffer in a loveless marriage, and he was afraid of repeating the same story. He left because he was scared, not because he did not respect me. Reading his words, my anger slowly changed into understanding. I still felt hurt, but I also felt his pain. I realized that broken people often break others without meaning to. I cried again, but this time my tears were softer. I wrote back to him, not with blame, but with honesty. I told him how lonely I felt and how his leaving had changed me. I also told him that I was willing to wait if he was willing to try. After that, our letters became more frequent. Slowly, we started to talk, not as strangers, but as two people trying to heal. He shared his fears, and I shared my hopes. There were days when progress felt small, and days when silence returned, but I held on. I learned that love is not always about grand moments, but about staying when leaving is easier. One day, after almost a year, Ayan came back. He stood at the door like a guest, not like a husband. His eyes were full of regret and fear. I welcomed him with respect, not anger. We sat and talked for hours. There were no promises of perfect love, only promises of effort and honesty. Life after his return was not easy. Trust does not return in one day. There were misunderstandings and moments of doubt. But there was also growth. We learned to listen, to speak gently, and to respect each other's wounds. We learned that marriage is not about control, but about care. Over time, something beautiful happened. Love did not arrive suddenly, but it arrived slowly, like morning light. Small acts became meaningful. A cup of tea, a shared smile, a quiet walk. I saw Ayan change, and he saw my strength. We both learned that patience can build what fear destroys. Years later, when I look back at that first night, I no longer see only pain. I see the beginning of a lesson. A lesson that taught me self-respect, forgiveness, and courage. I learned that my worth was never decided by someone leaving, but by my choice to stand strong. This story is not about a husband who left, but about a woman who stayed patient without losing herself. It is about a man who faced his fears instead of running forever. It is about how understanding can heal what anger cannot. Sometimes life breaks us in strange ways, but those breaks can let light enter if we allow it. The moral of this story is simple but powerful. Relationships need patience, honesty, and respect more than anything else. Running away from fear only makes it stronger, but facing it with kindness can change lives. Love is not perfect, but when it is built on understanding, it can survive even the hardest beginnings.